About a story about the prodigal son, how he left home with his shares and how he went into the wilderness, and where he went, he wound up spending all his inheritance, right? And so the people that he was hanging out with, enjoying the time with, they wind up turning their back, on him. They won't be bothered. And had a famine in it, and so he was looking for work, and he couldn't find no work, so he became hungry. He became thirsty. And you know what the first person that popped up in his mind was his father. He was like, my father got plenty. He was like, I could go work for my father for all of this, right? But I say this to say, when you have people praying for you, having faith that you're going to make it back home, it was the hunger pains that remind him of the Spirit of God for his father, who kept praying for him, hoping that he would come home. So every day his father would look to see if his son would come home. And this particular day, his son returned home, and he was very welcoming home. So I tell you, if you are hungry, go to God. So his father always had faith that his son was going to return home. And so that's what I say. I want people that going to make sure whatever I go through in the wilderness, that they pray me back home. They pray me back into the father. And when the father received it, his son, he gave a party. And the other son, who was out in the field, he felt some type of way, because he was like, all these many years this dude left you, and he betrayed you, and he come here and you gave him a party. I feel some type of way. And you know what the father told him? You always with me. Everything I have, you have. He said, I welcomed him because he was dead and now he's alive. You heard me? He was dead and now he's alive. And so I welcome him back in. I welcome him back in. I welcome him back into marriage. I welcome him back into the coverage of God. That's what his father was telling the son. And this is how God is with us. Make sure you get under that covenant. God is calling us back. God is making sure that we come back under his covenant. As the prodigal sons, he ready for us to come back home. He ready for us because he know you're hungry. He know you're thirsty. And he's willing to give you all that he have. And he never left your side. So it reminds me to say that God go after the one. If one of his sheep get lost, he's running after his sheep. You heard me? He ain't losing not one. He said the 99, the one is better. Because one that repents and enter back into the kingdom of heaven is a party. It's a glory. It's a wedding. You heard me? It's a feast. It's a celebration. So I tell you, don't forget the celebration when God receives you, how he's going to pour out to you. Yes. You see, the prodigal son knew that in his rebellious, God was going to use that for his glory. See, sometimes they have some of us that have to go out in the wilderness, because we be the living proof. We be the witnesses of God's miracles, of God's glory. You know what I'm saying? We know the difference of good and evil working in between, and how it comes out with a miracle. We know the difference. We know God's voice. We know how to go through that wilderness with God, because we know we're not alone. See, we walk by faith and not by sight. You see? And the prodigal son knew that even when it get hard, even when it get tough, I know where I can go back to. If nobody else don't accept me, I know God, my father, is going to take me back. And that's what happened with the prodigal son. And during a time when he was going through, he was eating swine, and he just was dead. He was just a dead soul. But don't y'all know God come back for the dead? He came for the sinners. But now it's time for us to walk in righteousness, walk in wholeness, walk in boldness. He never left your side. So just remember, it dwells in you. And I love you guys. Mwah.